Hi, I'm Jennifer Crane with Itsy Bitsy Book Reviewers, and I'm pleased to bring you up Letters to Nobody by Jane M. Grant. Dedication to my Aunt Frances, whose own writing of grief letters inspired this story. To librarians everywhere, you are my superheroes. Thank you for fostering a welcoming space for all. And to Carrie, whose unwavering persistence and love for her community has kept our town's library afloat through many storms. Content warnings: This novel explores aspects of mental illness and grief and contains references to suicide, infant loss, stillbirth, and chronic illness. Chapter 1: Helen. Are you alone? Have you seen it? Kaylee's high-pitched voice resounded from my cell phone. Expecting a recount of her current drama with a lab coworker, I settled in to listen to her story. I bumped my desk. The librarian's Dewey style mug full of steaming coffee tumbled onto my keyboard and the pile of new arrivals I needed to log into the system. I groaned. Sunny beach. Hang on. I grabbed a pile of tissues and laid down my phone. I blotted the books first. Kaylee didn't pause for breath, her voice loud despite being off speaker. Corey couldn't stop talking about the book. Anyway, why didn't you tell me about it? The balls he had to use them? Can we sue him? Waiting for my friend to gasp and fall silent with the side stitch, I wiped the spines of 2 more books. With them salvaged, I moved on to wipe between the keys on my keyboard. Thankfully, my desktop survived unharmed. I had zero budget for anything new. My jeans were a mess. At least my mug didn't break. It was a gift from Kaylee, one I hid from most of the patrons because, well, children's eyes. I liked the feel of it in my hand, though. Maybe I could bring it home today. It always amused Mom. Kaylee repeated loudly, Hell's bells, Helen. Where did you go? Are you alone or what? I retrieved the phone. Yes, yes, keep your pants on. What pants? Kaylee teased. I'm sweating like my grandpa's furnace. You're going commando now? I laughed. She was in her 3rd trimester of her pregnancy and probably wearing her usual stretchy yoga pants with a very long tank top and a white lab coat over them. I grabbed another tissue and blotted my wet jeans, the tissue tearing and getting clumpy. Water would have been easier to clean. Exiting my office, I made a beeline for the bathroom to wash my hands, which were sticky because I took my coffee with cream and sugar. So what book are you talking about? It wasn't unusual for my friend to get worked up over stuff, but this felt different somehow. Goosebumps sprung up on my arms. My assistant librarian, Billy, waggled her eyebrows over her purple frames at the mess on me. Don't ask, I mouthed. Remember when I suggested you do that thing, and you did that thing, and we thought that was the end of it all? Well, that thing has come back to bite us in the ass. Elaborate, please. You've made me do many things. I cradled the phone between my ear and shoulder while washing my hands. Thankfully, I sought the bathroom with real paper towels, not those cheap brown air thin ones the town provided. I then made some headway on cleaning my jeans. Your voice is echoing. You left your office, didn't you? I told you to be alone. Well, if you lower your voice, the entire library won't be able to hear you. She hissed. The letters, Helen. He used them in a book. Well, they aren't actually in it, but your letters inspired the story for his main character. For sure. They're too alike to be a coincidence. What letters? And who is he? I paused mid-wipe of the towel against denim. No, not those letters. We're alone. What letters? I repeated. You're a librarian and haven't seen it. There was an interview with the guy on the Authors to Watch podcast yesterday. Mr. Sexy Voice. Anyway, the book came out in June, and Corey was going on and on about it. I imagined Kaylee's eye roll. She paused for a beat. So I read the thing. You know I don't like fiction unless it's compelling. And my friend, it was. Oh, it was. Anyway, I thought you monitored all those buzzworthy books. Bestsellers list? Son of a monkey, Helen, you need to get out more. Hey, wasn't your New Year's resolution to stop bashing my lame dating life? I lasted 3 weeks. I like my life, Kaylee. I'm focused. What book? Tremors entered my voice. A book with my letters? Impossible. They should have been tossed, shredded, and never read. Instead of answering, Kaylee continued her diatribe about my less than sparkly Saturday night calendar. I dried my hands and crossed the main circulation area, a to-do list flying through my brain. Approve overtime requests, check the fall calendar, call the electrician, hound the Capitol building committee about the roof leak, and pretend there wasn't a rodent issue in my basement and chipmunk condominiums under the flower beds. On the trek across the worn carpet back to my office, I got snippets of her words. Don't be an old lady, need to get laid. Elward Green passed me a pile of hardcovers under one arm, his granddaughter Alexis at his side. Hi, Helen, I'm looking forward to trying the new ground book you recommended. I smiled at him. Hang on, Kaylee. I pressed my phone to my chest. I think you'll love it. He sets all his mysteries on Plum Island. I know how much you and Maureen enjoyed bird watching there. I suspected most of the books in Elwood's pile were for reading to his wife. Despite her glaucoma, I couldn't convince her to try audiobooks. Alexis wiggled beside him. Pop, I gotta go. I pointed to the bathroom in the children's area. Over there, need help? No, Miss Wright, I'm 4 now. Can do it all by myself. She hurried away. Elwood's salt and pepper beard danced with his chuckle. Billy could probably hear Kaylee's near shriek at the reference desk. I nodded goodbye to the amused Elwood and stuck the phone to my ear. Helen, you're not listening. Get into your office now. Shut the sinking door. Not needing an angry pregnant lady on my hands, I did. Okay, he had my full attention. Enough of my lame love life. Can we return to discussing the letters and book matter? What book and what letters? Not those letters, right? Yes, those. Your letters. You sold a man and wrote them in a darn bestseller, she said in a rush that could outrun a cheetah. My letters. She emphasized her syllables like an impatient teenager. The ones you wrote 7 years ago? I was there for the first one, remember? And you told me what you put in the rest. I remember. I'm a master at deciphering subtleties. He was subtle. Like he didn't paste the letters in or anything. But the similarities are spot on. He found them, somehow. Used them to write this Emma character. Her story is your story. Well, sort of. Just read it. Could a heart stop with bad news? Mine sure did. Oh, wait, there it was, thudding against my ribcage. Yes, those letters. Thank God I wasn't holding my coffee anymore. My silence must have conveyed my shock or confusion as she carried on. The grief letters. This man, Gabe Dennehy, found them, and they're now in a book. You just said he didn't put them in there. Oh my God, she was confusing me, or my brain was just working too slow. That jerk-face wrote some other letters. He fictionalized them for the story, but there's no mistaking it. 0 doubt. Yours. Her voice rose an octave with each sentence, and I inched the phone away from my ear. Gabriel who? Dennehy. Was I supposed to know who this creep was? The letters were unaddressed. Yes, I put them in a collection mailbox outside the post office, but with no return or mailing address and no postage. Those kinds of letters get trashed, sorted out. You had me so paranoid after I did it, I Googled. They get dumped. What you're talking about only happens in movies. Or books, she corrected. You're mistaken, Kaylee. My letters are supposed to be cathartic, cheaper than therapy. One reckless night, while hopelessly sad over my good friend's death, I had written the first one. Then another, and more over several months. The letters helped me heal. I'd written them not only to Adeline, but to my ex, my baby, my dad, even to Mom. And then I deposited them all in the blue mailbox because it made it feel more real to send off my grief to my long-lost loved ones instead of writing about it in a journal and boxing it away. In the moment, it cleansed my soul to send them off. I counted my lucky stars that only Kaylee knew about them. I gulped. Okay, what book? I couldn't believe I was buying her conspiracy theory. Letters to Nobody. Oh, that was the one on the new release display. Nothing seemed off about it. I haven't read it yet, Kaylee. I know you're stressed about the work and the baby coming and Aaron's startup. Read it tonight if you don't believe me. Okay. I bet she was pacing. My legs itched to move with hers. Even if someone had found my letters, there wasn't a novel in them. Sob fest. End of story. A local postal workers destroyed them, most definitely. Denial raged within me. Denial and I went way back. We were frenemies. Maybe it's similar, but I'm telling you, it's not. Read it. You will see the similarities, she urged. A beeper sounded through the phone. Gotta go. The centrifuge is done, and I won't let Corey touch my samples. Talk tomorrow. Read it. Well, fine. It's not like I had anything else better to do tonight. The abyss within me where I buried all the grief released a bubble that rose to the surface with a pop. Kaylee's pregnancy hormones were driving her nuts. My letters couldn't have inspired this novel. This had to be a coincidence. I hurried to the book display and searched for Letters to Nobody. The ebook and the audiobook had mile-long waitlists on Libby, so I was amazed to find the hardcover edition. The exquisite cover showed a melancholic woman clutching a letter as others floated away, carried by the winds of time. The back flap held no photograph of the author above his bio. He lived in New England. I would read the book tonight and appease Kaylee's imagination. This story was not about my letters. No way. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the book.